everyone, welcome to University Academy YouTube channel. So we are doing network analysis and synthesis subject and आज के लेक्चर में हम लोग देखेंगे मिलमेंस थ्योरम, कंपनसेशन थ्योरम एंड इंटेलिजेंस थ्योरम. ओके, सो सबसे पहले देख लेते हैं मिलमेंस थ्योरम. एंड अगर आपको इन टॉपिक्स के हैंड रिटन नोट्स चाहिए सो इट इज़ गिवन इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स, यू कैन डाउनलोड फ्रॉम देयर. ओके, so Millman's theorem states that the circuit having a number of voltage sources are connected in parallel with their internal resistances can be replaced by a single equivalent voltage source in series with an equivalent resistance. It means अगर नंबर ऑफ वोल्टेज सोर्सेज पैरेलल में कनेक्ट है, सो अ वोल्टेज सोर्स अगर प्रैक्टिकल है देन इट विल बी कंसिस्टिंग ऑफ अ बैटरी विच विल बी कनेक्टेड इन सीरीज विद द रेजिस्टेंस. ओके, सो इट मीन्स जो बैटरी है उसका इंटरनल रेजिस्टेंस होगा एंड इट विल बी कनेक्टेड इन सीरीज. सो दिस इज a symbol of the voltage source. So अगर ऐसे multiple voltage sources they are connected in parallel, then it can be replaced by a single equivalent voltage source. Suppose it is E and it will be connected in series with the resistance that is R. Okay, and this is load resistance. So अब हमें इस voltage source E की वैल्यू अगर हमें find out करनी है using the Millman's theorem, then it is given by the formula. It is equal to E1 by R1, that is EMF of first branch divided by the resistance of that branch plus E2 by R2, that is second branch का जो EMF है that is E2 and उसका जो internal resistance है that is R2 plus so on En by Rn divided by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus so on up to 1 by Rn. So this is the formula to find out this equivalent voltage source E. Similarly अगर हमें इस resistance R की value find out करनी है then what will do, we will deactivate the circuit. So this voltage source it will be replaced by short circuit. Now we will move the load resistance terminal. So अगर हम load resistance को remove करके and circuits को deactivate करके देखेंगे then all the resistance will be connected in parallel. So it means जो R equivalent है it will give the value of resistance R which is a parallel combination of all the resistance, that is R1 resistance it is connected in parallel with R2 so on with a parallel combination of Rn resistance. Okay, so now if we simplify then 1 by R it is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus so on up to 1 by Rn. So these two formulas are important when n number of voltage sources are connected in parallel. Similarly, the Millman's theorem is also defined when n number of current sources are connected in series. So it states that when a number of current sources, that is I1, I2, I3 up to In, are in series, it means the current source they are connected in series having the internal resistances R1, R2, R3 and Rn. So जो current source है it consists of a current source and it is connected in parallel with the resistance. So this is a symbol for the current source. Okay, so यहाँ पे हमने I1 है and उसका internal resistance जो R1 है it is connected in parallel. Okay, respectively the arrangement can be replaced by a single equivalent current source, that is I, in parallel with an equivalent series resistance R. Okay, so इस entire circuit को हम replace कर सकते हैं with a single equivalent current source and it will be connected in parallel with the equivalent resistance, that is R. Now the value of this current I it is given by I1 into R1 plus I2 into R2 plus so on up to In into Rn divided by sum of all the resistance. Because when you will calculate R equivalent across the terminal AB then you have to deactivate the circuit, and जब आप सर्किट को deactivate करेंगे then all the current source it will become open circuit. So then R1, R2, R3 and R4 they will be connected in series. So that is why the formula to calculate this resistance R it is given by sum of all the resistance. Okay, so these two formulas are important when n number of current sources are connected in series. So let us see a question. Find the current and the voltage across the load terminal using the Millman's theorem. Okay, so यहाँ पे हमें एक circuit given है and we have to solve this using the Millman's theorem. Okay, so यहाँ पे क्या है, voltage sources are connected in parallel. Okay, and our load resistance here is 9 ohm, that is RL value is 9 ohm in this question, and we have to find out the voltage and the current through this 9 ohm load resistor. Okay, so now if we compare this with Millman's circuit, then E1 value, it is equal to 12 volt. Okay, and it is connected in series with the resistance, so that is R1 value is 2 ohm. Okay, so in the second branch there is no voltage source. Okay, so it means there is no battery, so E2 value is 0 volt. Okay, but resistance is there, so R2 value is 4 ohm. Okay, and now in the third branch the voltage source value is 16 volt and resistance value is 4 ohm, and load resistance value in this question is 9 ohm. So now this can be replaced by a single voltage source which will be connected in series with the resistance. Okay, so now this is voltage E and resistance is R, and now it will be connected in series with the load resistance whose value is 9 ohm. So now we have to find out the value of this E and R. Okay, so now using the Millman's theorem, the formula for E is given by E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 plus E3 by R3 divided by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Okay, so all the values are given. We have to substitute the values. So even value given in the question is 12 volt by R1 resistance is 2, and in the second branch there is no voltage source, so 0 by 4, and E3 value is 16 by 4 divided by 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. So it will be equal to, this is 6 plus 0 plus 4 divided by, so let us take the LCM as 4, so it will be equal to 2 plus 1 plus 1. So this is 10 by 4 by 4, so that is E value we are getting 10 volt. Okay, now next we have to find out the value of R. So this resistance R is nothing but R equivalent. Okay, so it means we have to calculate R equivalent. So in order to calculate R equivalent, we have to deactivate the circuit. Okay, so let us find out the R equivalent, which is equal to R resistance. Okay, so for that we have to deactivate the circuit. So when we deactivate the circuit, the voltage source, it will be replaced by short circuit and the load terminals are open. Okay, so the circuit will become, so here 2 ohm resistance is there. Okay, and it will be connected in parallel with 4 ohm, and this is also connected in parallel with 4 ohm, and the load terminals are open circuited. So this is 4 ohm, this is 2 ohm, and this is also 4 ohm. Okay, now let us find out the R equivalent, which is equal to resistance R. Then the value of R, it is given by 2 in parallel with 4 in parallel with 4. So 2 in parallel with, so if we simplify this, 4 in parallel with 4, it will give 2. Okay, and then 2 in parallel with 2, it will give 1 ohm. Okay, so the value of R we are getting as 1 ohm. So in this question we have to find out the current and the voltage across the load terminal. So let us draw its equivalent circuit. Okay, so the value of E we have obtained is, this is resistance R. Okay, so E value we have obtained as 10 volt. Okay, so E is 10 and R is 1 ohm. Okay, so E is 10 volt and R resistance is 1 ohm. Now it is connected in series with the load resistance. Okay, and we have to find out the load current, that is current flowing through load resistance, and the voltage across the load resistance. So IL value is given by E by R plus RL. Okay, so RL value in this question given is 9 ohm. Okay, so E is 10 by R is 1 plus 9, So load current we are getting as 1 ampere. Okay, so 10 by 10, it is equal to 1 ampere. So this is load current. Also we have to find out the voltage across this load resistance. Then VL, it is given by IL into RL. So IL is 1 ampere and load resistance is 9 ohm. So voltage across load we are getting as 9 volt. Okay, so let us see one more question, and this is AC circuit question using the Millman's theorem. Question is, find the current and the voltage across the load terminal using the Millman's theorem. So यहाँ पे भी क्या है, तीन branches हैं which is consisting of a voltage source connected in series with impedance. सो AC में क्या है, इम्पिडेंस होता है, एंड अगर DC सर्किट है तो उसमें सिर्फ रेजिस्टेंस होगा. ओके, सो यहाँ पे क्या है कि जो फर्स्ट ब्रांच है उसमें जो EMF है उसकी वैल्यू है दैट इज E1 इज 12 एंगल 60 डिग्री इन वोल्ट. ओके, एंड द इम्पिडेंस ऑफ द फर्स्ट ब्रांच इज 6 ohm, and in the second branch E2 value is 9 angle 0 degree volt, and Z2, that is impedance of the second branch, is J6 ohm, and the EMF, that is E3 of the third branch, is 6 angle 30 degree volt, and Z3 is minus J6 ohm, and the load resistance, that is RL, is 2 ohm. because यहाँ पे क्या है, कोई भी imaginary term नहीं है, only pure resistance is given, so that is why I have written R of L. Okay, now we will convert this entire circuit into a simple equivalent circuit which will be consisting of impedance Z, and it will be connected in series with the voltage source, that is E, and this is impedance Z, and it will be connected in series with the load, okay, which is a pure resistive load, that is R of L. Okay, so now let us find the value of E, which is given by E1 by Z1 plus E2 by Z2 plus E3 by Z3 divided by 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3. So let us substitute the value of all the voltages and the impedance in this formula. So E1 value is 12 angle 60 degree and Z1 is 6. Then E2 value is 9 angle 0 degree by Z2 is J6, then plus E3 is 6 angle 30 degree by, this is minus of J6 divided by, this is 1 by Z1, that is 1 by 6 plus 1 by J6, and this is plus 1 by minus of J6. So these two terms will get cancelled out. Okay, and we know that J is given by 1 angle 90 degree and minus of J is given by 1 angle minus of 90 degree. Okay, so let us simplify this. So it will be equal to 12 angle 60 degree. Okay, so this E, it is equal to 12 angle 60 degree divided by 6 plus 9 angle 0 degree. So J6, it can be written as 6 angle 90 degree. Okay, then plus 6 angle 30 degree, and minus of J6, it can be written as 6 angle minus of 90 degree, and whole divided by, this is 1 by 6. So it will become 2 angle 60 degree plus 9 by 6, it will be equal to 1.5, and when this 90, it will go in the numerator, it will become minus 90. Okay, so minus 90 degree plus, it will get cancelled out, and this is 1 angle 30 plus 90 is 120 degree, whole divided by 1 by 6. Okay, so let us simplify this. So now let us expand this polar form. So we are getting the value of E as, so this 6, it will go in the numerator, and so 2 angle 60, it will be equal to 2 cos 60 degree plus J 2 sin 60 degree. Okay, then this is plus 1.5 cos of minus 90 degree plus j 1.5 sine minus 90 degree, then plus 1 cos 120 degree plus j 1 sine 120 degree. Okay, so 6 into, so cos 60 is 1 by 2, so 2 into 1 by 2 is 1, then plus sine 60. Okay, so cos 60 is 1 by 2 and sine 60 is root 3 by 2. So cos minus theta is cos theta and cos 90 is 0, and sine minus theta is minus sine theta, that is minus sine 90 degree, and sine 90 is 1. Okay, so this will be minus of 1, and cos 120 degree is minus 1 by 2. Okay, so cos 120 degree is minus 1 by 2, and sine 120 degree is 180 minus 60, that is sine 60, that is root 3 by 2. Okay, so now it will become, so 2 into 1 by 2 is 1 plus j into root 3, so root 3 is 1.732, and this will become 0, and it is minus j 1.5. Okay, and this will become minus 1 by 2, that is minus 0.5, and this is plus j root 3 by 2 is 0.866, so this will be equal to 6 into, so 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5, and it will be plus j 1.098. So if we convert this rectangular form into the polar form, we are getting 1.2 angle, that is 1.2 we will obtain by taking the square root of real part square plus imaginary part square. Okay, and then angle is given by tan inverse of imaginary by real, so we will be getting 65.52 degree. Okay, so if we simplify, we are getting 7.2 angle 65.52 degree, and this is in volt. So this is the value of E, and if we consider only the magnitude of E, that is RMS value, it is given by 7.2 volt. Okay, now next we have to calculate the impedance Z. Okay, so for that we have to deactivate the circuit. So when we deactivate the circuit, all the voltage source, it will be replaced by short circuit. Okay, and the load terminals, it will become open. So now let us find out the Z impedance value, and for that we have to deactivate the circuit. So it will become, so this is 6 ohm. Okay, so now 6 ohm, it will be connected in parallel with J6. Okay, and this will be connected in parallel with the capacitor whose value is minus of J6 ohm, and the load terminals are open circuited. Okay, so this is minus J6 ohm and this is J6 ohm. Now across this terminal we have to calculate Z equivalent, which will give the value of Z. So first of all, let us simplify these two. So as these two are connected in parallel, so it is given by Z1 Z2 by Z1 plus Z2. Okay, so this will be, Z1 value is J6 into minus of J6 divided by sum of both the impedances, so it will be equal to J6 minus of J6. So as we know that J square is minus 1, so it will become 36 by, it will get cancel out 0, so it means infinity. So impedance for this branch, suppose Z1 we are getting infinity, so if the impedance is infinity, it means both these branches, it will become open circuit. So Z equivalent, which will give the value of Z, we are getting as a 6 ohm. So now we have obtained the value of Z also, and also we have obtained the value of equivalent voltage source, that is E value 7.2. Now we have to obtain the current and the voltage across the load terminal, that is across 2 ohm. So let us draw its equivalent circuit. which will be consisting of impedance Z. Okay, so Z we are getting only pure resistance, so Z value we are getting 6 ohm. Okay, and the voltage source magnitude is given by E is equal to 7.23 volt in magnitude, and it will be connected in series with the load, that is R of L, whose value is RL value is 2 ohm. Okay, so this is 2 ohm. Now we have to find out this load current IL. So this IL, it is given by E by Z plus RL. Okay, so E value is 7.23 divided by 6 plus 2, so it will be equal to 7.23 by 8, which will give 0.9 ampere. Okay, so this is load current. Also we have to find out the voltage across this load resistance, so which is given by the formula IL into RL. So IL value is 0.9 and RL value is 2, so which is given by 1.8 volt. Okay, so this is the answer. So next topic is compensation theorem. So compensation theorem states that in a linear time invariant network, when the resistance R of a branch carrying the current I is changed by a value delta R, then the currents in all the branches would change and can be obtained by assuming that an ideal voltage source of Vc has been connected such that Vc value is equal to I into delta R is a change in resistance in series with R plus delta R when all the other sources in the network are replaced by their internal resistances. So in the compensation theorem, the source voltage Vc, it will oppose the original current. सो सर्किट की हेल्प से समझते हैं कंपनसेशन थ्योरम. सो सपोज अगर मैं एक सिंपल सर्किट कंसिस्ट करती हूँ, दैट इज इट इज कंसिस्टिंग ऑफ अ वोल्टेज सोर्स. ओके, and value of the voltage source is suppose V. Okay, now it is connected in series with the resistance, suppose it is R1, and suppose इस ब्रांच में जो resistance है that is resistance R2. Okay, and it is connected in parallel with the resistance R. Okay, and if we mark the current which is flowing through this resistance R is, suppose it is current I, and the current flowing through resistance R1 is I1 current, and the current flowing through R2 is suppose I2 current. Okay, so now this is a linear network. Okay, now यहाँ पे क्या है कि जो resistance R है, जो branch इस branch में present है, it is carrying a current I. Now if this resistance value R is changed by some delta R value, then the circuit will become, it will be consisting of this voltage source. So voltage source में कोई change नहीं आएगा, only this resistance R is getting changed by some value delta R. Okay, so the entire network it will remain same, so that is it will be resistance R1. Okay, this is resistance R2. Now this resistance it will become R plus delta R. Okay, so now as the resistance of this branch has changed, so overall the R equivalent will get changed. So as a result of which the current flowing in all the branches it will get changed. Okay, and the change is given by, suppose the current which is flowing through this resistor, it is given by suppose I plus delta I, that is original current flowing is I, and delta I is a change in current due to the additional delta R which is connected. Okay, now the current which is flowing through R1 resistance, it will be some I1, that is original current, plus delta of I1, that is change in the current which will be due to delta R. Okay, and we have to find out that change in current. Okay, and this will be I2 plus delta of I2, this is delta of I2. So this circuit is because of R value is changed to R plus delta R. Okay, so now if we have to find the change in the current, okay, so we have to connect a voltage source of VC value, where VC it will be equal to, so VC is given by current I, that is original current which is flowing through that resistance, okay, and delta R is a change in resistance. So now this voltage source it will be connected in series with this resistance, that is R plus delta R, and all the other sources which are present in this network, they will be replaced by their internal resistance. So this network is consisting of single voltage source, and the internal resistance of a voltage source is 0. So this voltage source it will be replaced by a short circuit, and the source voltage VC it will be connected in such a manner that it will be opposing the original current, that is it will be opposing this I current, okay. So now let us draw the circuit. So now this voltage source V it will become short circuit, okay, and now the resistance R1 it will remain as it is. So this is R1, okay. Now this is resistance R2, and this is resistance R plus delta R. It will be connected in series with a voltage source of VC, such that it will be opposing the original current I, okay. So this is VC, and the value of VC is given by I into delta of R, okay. So now this voltage source it will give some current, that is suppose delta I current is there, and the current which is flowing in the resistance R1 it will be suppose delta of I1, and the current which is flowing through this resistance R2 it will be given by delta of I2, okay. So this is given by delta of I2, okay. So now we can simplify this network, and we can find the values of delta I1, delta I, and delta of I2, okay. So now we can simplify this network, okay. So this is known as the compensation theorem. Now next topic is Telegen's theorem. So Telegen's theorem states that in any network, so network can be linear, non-linear, unilateral, bilateral, time variant, and time invariant, okay. So it means Telegen's theorem is applicable for all the type of network, whether it is linear, non-linear, unidirectional, bidirectional, okay. So unidirectional are the network which is consisting of diode, okay, and op-amp. So these type of devices are present in the network, then that network is known as unidirectional network. Examples of bidirectional elements are suppose R, L, and C. So these are the examples of bidirectional element, and it can be time variant or time invariant. Then the sum of the total instantaneous power consumed by various elements in the various branches of the circuit is always equal to 0. It means the total power, net power, which is consumed by all the elements, it will always be equal to 0. In other words, the total power delivered in the circuit must be equal to the total power absorbed in the circuit. It means the total power delivered, so power is delivered by the sources, okay, so it will be equal to total power absorbed by the element. So power is delivered by sources, okay, and power is absorbed by the resistive network, okay, because resistance is only element which is absorbing the power, and inductor and capacitor they store the energy, okay. Now for the verification of the Telegen's theorem, we will be using the KCL and KVL equations, okay, and it is based on law of conservation of energy, which states that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, it can only be transformed from one form to another, okay. So one important point, so we have seen superposition theorem, it was only valid for the linear network, okay. Thevenin theorem was also valid for the linear network. Similarly, Norton theorem was also applicable only for the linear network, and similarly maximum power transfer theorem was also applicable to the linear network, but Telegen's theorem is applicable for all the type of network, okay, and substitution it is applicable for linear and non-linear network, okay. So now let us see an example. Justify the Telegen's theorem for the below network, okay. So a network is given consisting of 3 resistances and 2 voltage source. So now this 15 voltage source and 12 volt voltage source, they will deliver the power, okay, and the remaining elements, that is R1, R2, and R3, they will absorb the power. So power delivered by the voltage source, it is given by V into I, okay, and the power which is absorbed by the resistor, it will be given by I square into R. Okay, so it means we have to find out the current. Okay, so let us solve this network using the mesh analysis. So suppose the current flowing in this mesh is suppose I1 current. Okay, I'm taking clockwise direction, you can take anti-clockwise. Okay, and now suppose the current flowing in this mesh is I2 current. Okay, now the current will enter into this terminal, so this will be positive, and it will leave from here, so it will be negative, and it will be entering into this terminal, so this is positive and negative. Now if you come to the mesh 2, it will be entering from here, so this is positive and negative, and then it will be leaving from here, so it is negative terminal. And in the 3 ohm, so it will enter from here and it will leave from here. So now let us apply the KVL in the mesh 1. Okay, so let us start from the 15-volt voltage source. So first sign, it is minus 15 plus the resistance value is 9 ohm, and current flowing through 9 ohm is I1 current. Then resistance is 3 ohm. Current flowing through 3 ohm is given by I1 minus I2, because I1 current is going in the downward direction and I2 current is in upward direction. So the net current through 3 ohm, it is given by I1 minus I2. So sum of all the voltages in a loop is 0. So this is KVL. Now we can simplify. So it will be equal to 12 of I1 minus 3 I2, it is equal to 15. It can be simplified as 4 I1 minus I2, it is equal to 5. So suppose this is equation. Similarly, let us write the KVL equation in the mesh 2. So it will be, so now let us write the KVL in mesh 2. So mesh is the smallest possible loop. So let us start from here. 3 ohm. Okay, so this is 3 ohm, and current flowing through this 3 ohm is given by I2 current. Okay, so this is 3 into I2, then minus sign is coming first, so this is minus, and voltage source value is 12, then plus 3, and net current flowing through this 3 ohm, it is given by I2 minus I1, it is equal to 0. That is sum of all the voltages in the mesh 2 is 0, and it can be simplified as minus of 3 I1, and this is plus 6 I2, this is equal to 12. So it will be equal to minus of I1 plus 2 I2, it is equal to 4. So suppose this is equation 2. So now equation 1 and equation 2 is having two variables, that is I1 and I2. So we can simplify equation 1 and 2, then we will obtain the value of I1 and I2 current. Okay, so now let us solve equation 1 and 2. Okay, so we are getting I1 current as, so I1 current we are getting 2 ampere, and I2 current we are getting 3 ampere. Okay, so now we have obtained both the currents. Now let us find out the power. So power delivered by the 15-volt voltage source, so it will be given by, so power delivered by the 15-volt voltage source, so first I'm considering 15-volt voltage source, it is given by, so power is given by V, and current flowing through this 15-volt voltage source is I1 current, so it is given by V into I1. Okay, so voltage source value is 15 and I1 current is 2, so power is 30 watt is delivered by the voltage source, 15 voltage source. Similarly, the power delivered by the, this is 12-volt voltage source. Okay, so power delivered by the 12-volt voltage source is given by V, and current flowing through this voltage source is I2. So this is given by, so power delivered by 12-volt voltage source is given by V into I2. So voltage source value is 12 and I2 current is 3. So this is 36 watt. Now only two sources are there, so power is delivered by both the sources. Okay, now let us find out the power absorbed by, so first resistance is 9 ohm. Okay, so power absorbed by 9 ohm, it is given by I square into R. Okay, so power absorbed by 9 ohm resistance, so current flowing through 9 ohm resistance, it is given by I1 square into R. So I1 value is 2 square and resistance value is 9 ohm, so this is given by 36 watt. Okay, next power absorbed by this 3 ohm. Okay, so let us consider first R3. So power absorbed by this R3, it is given by I2 square into R3. Okay, so it is equal to So power absorbed is given by, so power absorbed by 3 ohm, it is given by I2 square into R3. This was R1. Okay, so I2 value is 3 square into 3, so it will be equal to 27 watt. Okay, and last resistor is R2. So power absorbed by this resistor, so I1 current is flowing in the downward direction and I1 is 2 ampere, and I2 current is flowing in upward direction, it is 3 ampere. So net current flowing through this R2 is 1 ampere. Okay, so the power absorbed by 3 ohm, that is R2 resistance, it is given by difference of current is I2 minus I1, that is net current flowing through this 3 ohm into resistance value R2. Okay, so this will be equal to 3 minus 2 whole square, and R2 value is 3 ohm, so it is given by 3 watt. Okay, now we have obtained the power delivered and power absorbed by all the resistances. So as per the Telegen's theorem, it states that the sum of power delivered by these sources, it should be equal to the total power absorbed by all the resistances. Okay, so total power delivered in this case, it will be equal to 30 watt plus 36 watt. Okay, because only two voltage sources are present in the network, and power is absorbed by three resistances, so it is 36 plus 27 plus 3, so it is equal to 66 is equal to, this is also 66. It means the Telegen's theorem is verified. Okay, so आज के लिए इतना ही. नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे यूनिट 3 एंड वी विल सी लैपलेस ट्रांसफॉर्म टॉपिक. ओके, सो थैंक यू.